Yo, what's going on guys? Welcome back to the channel. It's been a really long time since the last upload. I'm pretty sure I'm pushing on 2 months at the moment, which is horrible, and I'm very sorry for that. But hopefully we are finally back to uploading at least some kind of content. I'm going to start out by uploading the final Crossark video. I have about 12 hours of raw footage, however most of it isn't voiced over. So I'm just going to show you what we got, voice over what's been going on with me and why the Crossark series ended so suddenly, and just show you guys what we got up to in the final days of the series. So again, first of all, I want to say I'm very sorry for disappearing randomly. I did let people know what was going on with me if they asked in Discord, but I really should have made some kind of announcement on Discord or YouTube letting you guys know what was going on. So I'm going to get into what's been going on with me first. I don't want to get too into my personal problems, but basically, coronavirus has been making my life fucking miserable. So first of all, my dad is very sick. He's been battling with cancer for almost 2 months now, and no signs of him getting better yet, but fingers crossed he gets through that. I'm not actually able to go and see him because of the virus and the whole corona situation. Yeah, I've been kind of down and depressed about that whole situation, not being able to be there for my dad. And then on top of that, because of coronavirus, again, my fiance has been out of work and she's been home pretty much all the time. And because we live together in a tiny 1-bedroom Japanese apartment, it's very hard for me to actually get anything done. And just being cramped up in this tiny apartment, not being able to record, has been causing us tension and constant fights. So I've just been having to deal with that as well. Just all around, I've been feeling down and fucking depressed and out of it and not really wanting to do anything. But as I said, I don't want to get too into my personal problems. I'm not looking for pity or anything like that. I just wanted to let you guys know what was actually going on. I would like to be more transparent about it in the future too if I'm going to disappear again. I really appreciate all the people who reached out to me on Discord to make sure I was okay while I've been away from YouTube. It really means a lot just to have people to actually talk to. But anyway, guys, that's enough of what's been going on with me. Now on to what actually happened to Crossark. So as I said, I was going through some shit. I started becoming very inactive on Crossark and not actually playing at all. And that led to other people, like my friends, not wanting to play as well. So we went ahead and gave the tribe away to another group of players on the same Crossark cluster. They had actually been building up there longer than we had and fighting with the Alpha tribe constantly. And literally a couple days after we gave them the tribe, maybe a week max, they actually got incited by the same Alpha tribe that we've been fighting against for the whole series. So it's a bit of a depressing end to it. It was really a lot of fun for me to actually play. However, I do think it was more fun to play than it was to actually watch. People didn't really understand the story or the history of the Crossark servers. People thought we were just offlining random Bob bases, but either way, it was good fun. We won Crystal Isles on release, as you guys saw, and in this video you'll see that we took over their entire Genesis server and pretty much wiped everything on the map and ended up building our main base on Genesis. I don't know how much footage I have of the main base. I'll have to go through. I'm sure there's some kind of footage in this 13 hours that I have to edit. So yeah, the plan is to release this last Crossark video, which I should have done a long time ago. Again, I'm very sorry for that. And then I'm thinking I'm going to start a solo series on the Asia servers. Just like the old days, just a small base, just have some fun, raid a bunch of people, and just PvP. But for now, guys, let's just go ahead and get into the rest of the footage. I've been talking way too long. So yeah, thanks for listening if you didn't skip straight through it. Otherwise, let's get into the video. All right, so it wasn't the most entertaining the way that we actually got in, or like slowly got in. It was a combination of tech rifling down stuff, suiciding tech rexes and just blowing up as much stuff as we can, and just using the gas bag to soak wherever needed. Otherwise, the play that made it all happen was active running past the turrets and destroying the generator inside. I do have his footage from that. I think it's somewhere on my computer. I asked him for it 2 months ago when it actually happened. So I'll go ahead and insert that now. We'll put some music over it and we'll see how he got that done. and just like that, guys, the generator was down, nice and easy. Active did fucking work getting that gen down. At this point of the series, we still didn't have really good teams that could actually deal with all the velos and the bloodstalkers and everything that was actually inside of their base. Yeah, we had to work with what we got. We threw down a couple theories that we got from like a random raid. I don't remember which one. We put some cakes on them and we went to work. It took us a long time to clear out all the velos. I'm probably just gonna skip ahead to once we actually start looting.
Dude, I just got so many cryos.
Here's worth a
I
shard.
got every fucking line, man. I'm capped with fucking cryos. I can drop you 6 to see.
Yeah, just put it in a diner. I'm not fast. I'll just look at the end.
Yeah, some tech helmets, tech railgun.
Some recipes.
Take Moses saddle.
Alright, so we're back at base now, guys, which is actually just the beginning of our base. We just put up this first death wall in the Lunar Cave before we went and wiped their base. So I'm going to go through and show you all of the loot now. I actually had the hard job of running the loot back all the way across the moon with a tech suit. And yeah, we'll go through the loot now, mostly just the cryopods. You guys may think that I spent a lot of time, a large portion of the video on this raid, and that is because it's really the only raid worth including. There's like 3 or 4 more raids, but they were just empty bases. We actually had people spying for us in the Alpha Tribe Discord, and they actually said, empty all your bases, move all the stuff to the center, and do not defend your bases. So they were pretty much just telling people not to defend. You guys will see that shortly. We actually raided the biggest base on Genesis and it was completely empty. They had moved everything over to the center into the Alpha base. So yeah, it's a bit depressing and it's kind of pointless now, but either way, let's go ahead and go through the loot and show you guys what we got. Now this raid was fucking amazing. As I said, it's a breeder cave and we actually got every single breed line that they have unnooted, including gigas, magmasaurs, gas bags, bloodstalkers, everything we would have needed to actually take over the Crossark servers. Even though it doesn't matter, I'm going to go ahead and show you guys the loot. Then we'll quickly look at the other bases that we wiped on Genesis, even though they were empty. Then we'll wrap up the video, wrap up the series, and I'll get started on recording something new for you guys. Alright guys, so let's go ahead and look at the cryos once again. There's a bunch of loot here that we flew out. I just flew out a bunch of gunpowder. You saw all the shards and shit that I put here as well. Now as for the cryos, let's take a look. So we got pretty much every line you could think of, even Archaeopteryx, whatever the fuck they do. So we got Tech Rexes, we got Stegos, we got so many Bloodstalkers. I'm pretty sure one was called Breeder. So if I search Breeder, yeah, female Breeder all stats, male Breeder all stats. Alright, we got a whole bunch of squids, we got some Magmasaurs. I'm pretty sure we got a decent damage Magmasaur, like 300 something damage somewhere. Alright, so let's go ahead and run through all of the other things on Genesis that we wiped. So the first one was actually like the most hyped base. Like when I showed all of the bases on Genesis,
I'm walking up there.
the comment section really wanted to see this base wiped the most. It was on the Ocean Pillar as the one that had the giant space whale above it. And I actually have no microphone audio at all for this from me. So I'm probably not going to include much of it. It was an empty base. As I said, they emptied out every single base that wasn't on the center. So pretty much any raid you guys were going to see after this anyway would have been just an empty raid until we got to like the 2 main center bases. Either way, this raid was kind of interesting because I learned that giant turtles could just fucking walk straight up cliffs, as you can see it happening in the background here. Pretty damn crazy, and yeah. I just wanted to include that because I thought it was pretty interesting, and we didn't have to soak anything at all, but still, as I said, the base was empty. This is like the lower portion of the base. The top portion of the base was also empty, so we got absolutely nothing out of this base. Good to know that the alphas were that scared of us that they had to empty out every single base on every single map. Either way, that happened. We wiped that base, as you can see here, fully wiped with the mech. And on to the next one. Now, the next one was a really long raid. For some reason, the footage is 4 hours long. Now, they're actually online, and you would think that an online raid would be interesting, right? Not at all. It was not interesting one bit. It was actually such a tilting raid. Either way, it was a base on another Ocean Pillar. It was actually the Alpha Tribe's base. They were actually in the process of emptying it out. Now, the guy that came online, he was just on a Bloodstalker, and he didn't do anything interesting at all. We were pretty much just rock draking down his base, Tech Rock Drake, and he would just come and throw Z-plants, and we would snipe at him a little bit, and then he would transfer some loot out, come back, and then he'll throw some more Z-plants. It took us a really long time to actually get in, but still, either way, we got into the base. It was completely empty, and as you can see, this base is foundation wiped as well. I wish the bases weren't empty, and I wish it was more entertaining so that I could actually show you guys more of the footage. Either way, that base is wiped. After that, it looks like I went on to build ourselves the Volcano TP on Genesis. kind of funny because I absolutely hate building, but either way, there is a spot in the volcano. I think there's 2 spots actually where you can actually build inside and it won't get destroyed by the volcano, and it's not an emission zone. So here's one of them now. This is like the little mini teleporter that I built. Apparently they attacked it after I quit. They didn't actually manage to drop it. Props to my building skills. It worked pretty well. We farmed a bit of element before I quit, and yeah, that's it for the building, I guess. Next up, we went on to the bog biome and we wiped all of the teleporters slash one more base that was in the bog biome. So first up, one of the Alpha Tribe bases again. Pretty sure it was like a cloning base. I might have built this one after we wiped their breeder base. So it's just a cloning chamber. Probably just farm element with it. They had a skiff on top that we destroyed earlier. Either way, this base got Tech Rock Drake down pretty heavily. It stood no chance at all having 2 Rock Drakes. It drops so quick. Like, I'm pretty sure it's less than 10 minutes of footage. Either way, we got into that one and it was empty. I think all we got really was a bunch of element from the generator. Nothing else exciting. Then we went on to drop a teleporter from another tribe on the server, as you can see here. Pretty small teleporter, nothing too exciting. So we just Tech Rock Drake that one down, and then we moved on to the next one. Now the next one was so tilting. So me and Natsu, we found it's like the thickest TP on Genesis, and we decided we were going to cannon it down. What a good idea, you may think. No, not at all. It was a terrible idea, and it took so many cannonballs. But either way, we cannoned it down. We had to go through so many ceilings and hatch frames because of the angle, and the skiff constantly kept moving. It was a real struggle. But either way, we cannoned that down, and we foundation wiped the teleporter. The tech turrets were actually capped. The heavy turrets were capped, so we got a whole bunch of ammo, a whole bunch of element out of that as well. And yeah, another thing wiped. And that was actually the last thing on Genesis that we wiped. Now, I would love to show you guys footage of our actual, I would love to show you guys footage of our lunar cave. It was actually so thick before I quit, and I think it even got thicker because people kept playing for like a week or so before we got insided. But unfortunately, I don't have any footage to show you of the lunar cave, so the series has unfortunately ended, guys. That is the end of the Crossark Takeover. Unfortunately, we only managed to take over 2 maps. It's a pretty big time commitment. In order to actually take over an entire Crossark cluster, you'd have to breed like specific dinos for like specific caves. For example, you'd have to breed a bunch of manas to raid the ice cave. And of course, you'd have to breed a bunch of gigas so you could fight their gigas. So unfortunately, guys, it was unsuccessful. Still, I had a whole bunch of fun playing it. All the people I was playing with seemed like they were having fun at the beginning anyway. Less fun towards the end, once we actually had to settle down and start breeding. Either way, it was a whole bunch of fun. I hope you guys enjoyed watching the series. I'm sorry it ended so abruptly, but still, as I said, I'm kind of excited to be back. I'm thinking about doing a solo series on the Asia servers, so look forward to that. I'm going to go ahead and start recording it as soon as this video goes live, so it should come out in the next couple days. Either way, guys, that's the end of the video. Sorry it's a bit scuffed. It was more of like a I'm still alive kind of video, and I really had to get this footage out there. It was kind of like a big mental block for me. I really didn't want to upload this. I really didn't want to edit it because it's kind of a depressing end. Either way, I finally got through it. It's kind of scuffed, but still, I hope you guys enjoyed it somewhat. Either way, thanks for watching. Enough rambling. And as always, I'll see you guys in the next video.